It's beer o'clock on Real Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Coniston Brewery and it's a bottle of their Bluebird Bitter coming in at 4.2% ABV. Bottle conditioned beer, award winning beer, blue bottle cap. Let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass then. Glug on this pour. We got a 3-finger white head, golden amber coloured beer, quite clear to look at, very impressive for a bottle conditioned beer. Good carbonation. Let's get the aroma. A bit of biscuit malt, a bit of chewy malt, smells pretty good. And at this stage of the review, I would like to thank our channel sponsors, beersreviewed.co.uk, for supporting today's video. They've been our channel sponsors for over 5 years now. Amazing bottle shop, the biggest bottle shop in the UK with a range of beer from all over the world. Check out beersreviewed.co.uk in the description box of this video. Let's tell you a little bit more about this aroma. So yeah, some biscuit malt. A little bit of toffee, a little bit of nuttiness coming through. Slightly herbal, hoppiness, a little bit of pepperiness coming through on the back end. Should we dive in? Cheers everybody. Pretty good. Nice bitterness on the back end. It's a kind of like a nettly, peppery, spicy bitterness on the back end. There is some of that biscuit malt, that nuttiness at the up front of the beer, the beginning of the beer. Good lacing on the glass. Easy drinking beer, nicely carbonated. Beer gets pushed around the inside of the mouth. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I got an interesting story about this beer. Many moons ago when I was watching beer reviews on YouTube, yes, there were beer reviewers before me, most notably in America. I'm going to give him a shout out, why not? The first guy I ever started watching was a guy called Joe D. Anybody remember Joe D? He's still doing it. He does a lot of kind of live feeds now on his YouTube channel when he gets a group of boys together, a group of lads together. They all have a drink. And they generally enjoy themselves. They have a natter, I tune in every now and again, have a natter, have a chat, they drink some beers. Pretty good live shows, so check out Joe D. But Joe D was one of the first beer reviewers on YouTube. One of the first. It actually probably inspired me the most to beer review on YouTube, so thank you Joe D. But I was kind of Googling this beer, Coniston Brewery's Bluebird Bitter. And this, like 10 years ago, as of 2018 of course, Joe D reviewing Bluebird Bitter from Coniston Brewery, but he's from like Arkansas or somewhere in the US. He's like more or less Texas way in the US, and this is a relatively small brewery in Cumbria in the UK, and I'm just wondering, you know, and there's a few other American beer reviewers who have reviewed this beer, so I'm just wondering if they probably export this beer over to America, and it probably sells pretty well for a traditional British bitter, and that's exactly what this is. I've just chucked it's a bottle conditioned beer, so I've just chucked the yeast in the bottle, into the glass even, not the bottle. Chucked it from the bottle into the glass, and you can see a hazy suspension there of yeast floating around in the glass. Let's get the aroma now, because what you might get now is more maybe the esters from the yeast, maybe some fruity esters coming from the yeast. So, and that's indeed exactly what we're getting. It's, for me, it's more of a complete beer when you add that yeast. I think the yeast should be added to the beer, even though it gives that slight haze. Who cares about haze? It's 2018. Everybody brewing hazy beers. It doesn't matter anymore, does it? If they're unfiltered, unfined and all the rest of it. More rounded, more balanced. It's not that kind of kick of carbonation out of it. It was quite carbonated to begin with. Now it's more of a depth to it, more of a mouthfeel to it, and some more kind of fruity flavours on the back end. Fruity flavours, how do I describe a fruity flavour? Jam, maybe a bit of jam, raspberry, plum, strawberry jam, mixed fruit jam taste there. I like it. I'm going to rate it. Coniston Brewing Company's Bluebird Bitter, award-winning English ale. Bluebird is a fine session ale with a light golden colour. The intense resinous and spicy hop character, which is the beer's hallmark, is derived from the use of unusual quantities of English Challenger hops. Each bale being individually and personally selected by the brewer. The malt is, of course, Maris Otter, fermented slightly warm to give a soft fruitiness with a faint hint of scented geranium. Yeah, I suppose you do. So they won Supreme Champion Beer of Britain in 1998. I suppose that's kind of where they got their name from. It's probably a big seller down there in Cumbria. Down there in Cumbria. Is Cumbria down there or is it up there? I can't quite work it out. I don't think I've ever been to Cumbria, so sorry about that, guys. My apologies. Rating for this beer, I like it. I can see why it's won Champion Beer of Britain, especially back in 2009 when there was a lot of best bitters and premium beers being entered into the competition. The hop revolution probably didn't take hold back then, not as much as it has today. It's a solid 8 out of 10 all day. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.